Hey, welcome back to the Signature Movement. It's your girl Tonya D Floyd. I'm out here in these streets. I'm at my secret location where I go to relax and catch a breeze and be at one with nature and sip my brew. And they over here tearing up this playground, and I'm wondering if they're gonna put a playground back or like what they plan to do with that. Cause I mean, surely they wouldn't tear down the playground and seating area with a grill and everything, just a nice little cozy spot, and just leave nothing. So we're gonna watch and see what they do, because I got an issue lately with the municipalities and the people in charge of things. I wasn't even gonna talk about this today, but I was just gonna talk about like my meeting with the school and my dealings with the comptroller's office about that tax matter and that return they took in that $5,000. They said I owe them, but anyway, I wasn't gonna talk about this. But speaking of municipalities, why is madness ensuing all over the country right now with people squatting in these Airbnbs and vacant properties and isn't it? Like people going around looking for spots that's uninhabited and they just claiming them. I'm gonna live here. What they do? What? Apparently they do it everywhere. Cause I keep reading about them, like every day. I read about another one today. This guy was in Texas. He said he pulled up to his rental property for whatever reason, and somebody was living in there, and he told him he wasn't going nowhere, and he called the police, and the police came, and they put the man in cuffs and everything, and then they said, well, we gotta let him go, because the DA said they got squatters' rights in Texas. Another reason why I can't move to Texas. But yeah, they like, he was like, he gotta file some kind of eviction proceedings or something like that to get the man out. Now, I've been reading about other people in other states, and they having similar issues. They just pull up and people in there. And the one guy was on, I think it was on Instagram, and he was like, I'm living in a van outside my own property that I pay a mortgage on, and they renting it out to people. Like, how could that happen? Like, physically, how could that happen? Because the first time I pull up to something with my name on it that I gotta pay for, maybe after all I've been through, I don't know, I'm a little, what do you call it? Aggravated, antagonized, whatever the word is, a word. My son said he feeling it, not apprehensive. Dang. Whatever the word is that I'm looking for. The first time I pull up and I start feeling that kind of way about something I got to pay for, I'm not calling no police. I'm gonna call some cousins, some friends from down the street, from around the way. I'm gonna call some people that ain't the police, and we gonna come have a conversation with you, and we gonna move all your stuff outside, and you're not gonna come back in here. No, we not filing no eviction paper, none of that. We just making some phone calls, and we going in. We gonna change the locks. We gonna put all your stuff outside, unless somebody takes something they want, cause you wasn't gonna move it. Will I get to keep it? So Can you imagine? I'm not going nowhere. I like this place. I call it home. When they go back to doing that? I remember, before Indigenous Peoples Day, it was Columbus Day, and they did stuff like that back in the day. In 1492, they was just coming up on some land, going, whoop, I claim this in the name of the queen or the king or the people of Spain or whatever. But now they back to that, and nah, I ain't feeling that. Nah, I don't. But yeah, I didn't come to talk about that. I was just saying it's a thing, and the municipalities is a problem because I know it's not like high on nobody's radar or their list of things to do or their legislative agendas, stuff like that. But it's got to be some laws and rules. We're supposed to be a civilized society. What? Why are we allowing that? Anyway, municipalities. So, update. The state of Maryland, they said I could have a meeting with the auditor and her boss, whoever, went over my return and decided that I didn't have enough substantiating evidence or whatever to, say that I had these business expenses. But anyway, we had a meeting and we had a conversation, and I was like, hold it, what I sent you, did you get it all? And they were like, well, we were missing a lot of documents we would need to say that you actually incurred these expenses on these renovations. And I was like, well, what you need? So that happened, and I sent them, it was around to the tune of $50,000 in deductions. So yeah, I sent them a zillion receipts. in PDF form and zipped it all up for him. And some cashier, what do you call them? Cashier official checks is what they call them now. So I sent them the little pink slip carbon part of the official checks that I had paid the contractors in them with, and the contracts that I had signed with the contractors in them. And yeah, they reversed that whole thing and said, okay, Miss Floyd, everything is like you said it was, and some cell phone bills too, because they said my utilities was way too high for my house, and I was like, hold it, utilities include phone and the internet, so yeah, okay, Miss Floyd, everything like you said it was, and it's great. And they reversed all that $5,000 worth of stuff they said I owe them, and amen. And speaking of the other municipalities, I learned that the state of Maryland don't have a dad blasted thing to do with this PG County and how they run their schools. Have you ever heard such? We in the state of Maryland. We live in. Anyway, for some reason, my main phone wants to not have memory, and it wants to act like I got a problem with the speaker. So we just gonna shift to the cake phone, is what I call it. The cake phone is for my cake business, and people can call me. And anyway, so yeah, we in PG County, right? However, I have been told when I complained to the Maryland State Board of Education, yeah, that they can't come to PG County and tell them that they messing up with my son's IEP or how to make it right or any of that. But then, when I filed those 2 complaints back to back the last 2 years, they had said in their letter that they were going to let the county know that they was in violation, and they had a certain amount of time to get things right with me and to offer compensatory services. That's the 2 words in quotes, compensatory services, to help get my son caught up for what he should have had that he did not get. So they said in their letter, the state Board of Education, that they were going to let the county have a certain amount of time to get these things back in order and make things the way they're supposed to be, or else they would face penalties, right? Well, that's a lie. A bold-faced lie, because when I reached out this year, at the beginning of the year, very, very first, second week of school, I just thought I'd let them get, comfortable in the first week and get all their stuff together. And then I reached out to the special education coordinator. Actually, I reached out to the counselor. Sent the counselor an email. I said, hey, I'm Kyle's mother, blah, 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 blah. Just trying to see who I need to contact about his IEP supports and make sure he gets what he needs, make sure he's introduced to the right people that's going to help him get what he needs. And so he can know who to go talk to when he got a problem with something or need help with something or whatever, the case may be, because, it's his IEP, it's individualized education plan. So yeah, call her, no, I emailed her, and she sent my email to somebody else. I think the special education coordinator. That's fine. That's how it's supposed to go. And she thanked me for being an advocate for my son and and let her know if I need anything else. But you didn't even reply to me. You just sent it to somebody else. But I'm going to let that slide because I got to the right somebody else. So when I talked to this person, I was talking to her for maybe 2 seconds. And she said, yeah, I'm looking over his IEP right now. And I can tell you right now, we can't do some of this stuff. Instantly, I had animosity. Okay? Instantly, I was like, oh, we got a problem. So I let her talk and tell me which things they couldn't do. And I said, okay, thank you for that. And she said, yeah, but I'll go talk to him so he can know who I am and something, and have a nice day. Okay. As soon as I hung up the phone, I got to my email and pulled up that last email I had with the county IEP team, who I was referred to from the last school, because they was not really feeling how I was telling them y'all ain't doing the right thing. And my son not getting his services, and I'm tired of talking to y'all. Get him out of this school system altogether and put him somewhere else. And pay for it. And they were like, well, you got to go to the county IEP team first, Miss Floyd, so they could talk about placement. Send me there. So I went there. I talked to them at least twice. 2 different meetings, right? And the second meeting, they came up with this plan because they retested him for everything, reassessed him in all the areas and figured out what he needed exactly at this point in his life. And we got a new plan all written out, all 30-some pages of it. A to Z what he's supposed to get in high school, right? Get to high school and they say they can't do some of this stuff. So I was hot. So I sent them an email back to the same crew. Said, look, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're into better things, newer things, different things, other things than Kyle, but here's what you need to know. This lady just told me they can't do some of the stuff. Did you set me up? Like, you gave me this plan. Did you really not know that they couldn't do that in high school? Or is it this high school? Is this a problem? Where are we supposed to go? I need him to get there quickly. Wherever he need to be, just go ahead and send him there because this ain't working. The compliance officer emails me and everybody at that new school and says, hey, we need to have a meeting. She says, don't forget the school nurse because there's medical stuff in there. Don't forget these people. And everybody was on the email chain and we're going to have a meeting. So we had the meeting. And she clarified what she was saying. First thing first. Well, in here they say something about specific cleaners and we got to replace this, that, and other because he got an allergy to citrus. Yep, it's in most stuff. Well, we don't have the capacity to change all the cleaners in the school, Miss Floyd. We just can't do that. But I was like, so is it our responsibility to make sure he don't break out or die because, he can't breathe or because he had bumps all around his eyes and his throat closed up and stuff? Is it my job? Like, who's going to do that because I ain't there? And she was like, no, Miss Floyd, I'm simply saying we don't have control over what they use. But at his age now, he's probably a little more aware of the certain circumstances and he can remove himself and let somebody know if it's a problem. Okay, we agree to that. We can go with that. But I'm still not happy, right? Okay, fine. He'll remove himself if there's a problem, but I hope it's not too late. Because that's the best I can ask for at this point. So then the other thing was, well, he's supposed to have a peer partner. Well, we can't make a student do that because, sometime in high school, this person stink or they breath stink or they this and da. And I can't force somebody who didn't feel like it that day to be his peer partner. If they don't want to, it's illegal. I'm going to let that go too. Because we don't even want to work with people like that. We don't want to assign a partner. Don't worry about it. Put them in a small group. Can we do that? Okay, we got small group activity now. So it's a few people in the group who can help him or they can help each other or whatever. And it's not necessarily like I designate you as his partner for everything all the time. Okay? All right, fine. I can agree to that too. But I feel like I'm just biting my tongue and holding on to some stomach pains because what the hell's wrong with y'all? Why we can't do nothing? Why we can't do nothing? And when I say nothing, I mean because I went back over all the supports he's supposed to get in each subject and this and that and the other. I feel like I'm just talking to that lamp right there on my table. It don't hit me. It ain't gonna do nothing. That's exactly what's happening. This lady didn't seem like a villain. And I don't think, she means any harm. But at the same time, I distinctly get the impression that my kid is just one of several thousand and nobody cares. Absolutely not. In general, yeah, this is our job. This is what we do. We care a little bit. But nah, not for real. And not specifically. But what I did accomplish was, my name is Tonya Floyd. This is my son, Kyle. Please recognize who we are and understand that Miss Floyd will, at any given time, let you and everybody else know when she ain't happy with some stuff. So, from now on, when you see Kyle in the hall, you probably gonna go, his mother something else. Let me tell you about her. And that's fine. I don't mind that. I'll be that. When you get an email from me, you're gonna be like, oh, Lord. As a matter of fact, that's funny. I emailed the coordinator last week to say, hey, I see my son having some trouble in some classes. How are we supposed to go about getting him some help? Who are we supposed to tap on the shoulder to make sure they can, get him on track? She ain't responded yet. And I don't mean last week, like in the last 7 days. I mean the week before the one that just passed. So it's been more like 10 days. I emailed the psychologist who was in our meeting. She didn't respond either. I said, look, are you a psychologist that takes students and does sessions with them during school time, or do you just make referrals? Like, how does this work? She didn't respond to me. Yeah, like 10 days. I emailed them both at the same time. So yeah, I got a problem again. But ain't nobody, don't nobody care, and the state ain't gonna make them do nothing. So That's where we at with special education in Prince George's County. Used to be the richest black county in America, or at least one of the top 10. So now it's not. It ain't rich in resources. It might be rich in, what the numbers say, but it ain't rich in resources for people who have special education needs, or black families who live right here and try to do their civic duty and stuff. It ain't rich like that. It's poor. It's very poor, in my opinion, in my estimation, in my dealings. Poor. The District of Columbia, where I grew up, right next door to PG County, Maryland. District of Columbia is probably a better everything as far as taking care of its citizens than PG County at this point. And when I used to go to DC public schools, they used to make fun of us like we wasn't good enough. Well, I moved over here to PG because it was a little bit cheaper and because I could get more space for my money back in 1992. I'm sorry. Because now I can't even get back in DC, not even if I wanted to. But their services are way better. Absolutely. They have way more resources for jobs. Anybody want a job can get one if you live in DC. They will train you for anything. You want to be in culinary. You want to be in, what do you call that stuff? The police and the fire department and all that stuff. What do you call that? The services, whatever do you call that? They call it something. They get discounts and everything like teachers, first responders and service something. Anyway, they'll teach you anything you want to know in DC for free. And they'll give you a job. They'll give you child care. They'll give you elder care. They'll give you... Let me just stop. It's always like the grass is greener when you're doing it from the rear view. Like, I wish I had hindsight kind of thing. It sounds bitter, but I am. I am. It's a problem. Oh, PG County. Let's not even talk about the court system, how they screwed me over. But it's just, it's no longer a rich county in my eyes. We got a problem with everything. Then you go on the Nextdoor app and read about how all these neighborhoods are being terrorized by these car thefts and glass breaking and tire thefts and other crime. Just all the crime. All kind of crime around here. It's crime everywhere. But I'm telling you, it's so concentrated. I feel like it's a concerted effort by somebody to bring down some house values or something. And I ain't crazy. So, but this is just my platform. I can say what I want. But these are not the views of anyone else. And I don't represent any organization or group. So it's just me saying what I feel, what I think, and what I see. Whew. Anyway, the municipalities. Something else about the municipalities pissed me off recently, but I think that's about it. The state got my taxes right, so I'm all right with that for now, but they ain't giving no interest and no penalties what they was going to charge me. I'm sorry, what they did charge me in that bill they sent me, it was $3,000 something, and then it ended up being $5,000 something because of the penalties and the interest, because my return was filed on whatever day, and I didn't pay it on X, Y, and Z day when they thought I owed it, but y'all held my stuff up, and it was a problem, and you was wrong, and you fixed it, but you ain't give me nothing. So the municipalities, I tried. They all suck. I've been telling my people all the time, and I'm talking about like my family that I chose, like not the relatives that I was given, but I tell my people all the time, we need a nice plot of land with several acres. And we need to build our community right there, like what they call it, a family compound. And we can have anybody we want in it. And everybody can have their own space. We ain't gotta be like watching who come by. Oh, I gotta charge the phone. We ain't gotta be like watching who come by and parking in your driveway and stuff. Or, we not gonna be spying on you or nothing. But if the kids need somewhere to go, they can run right there. If we need somebody to play with, we got picked from this group right here. We right here. If we need, some cabbage out of the garden, go right there. I'm tired of the people. I'm tired of everybody everywhere. I want a family compound. I don't know how I'm going to get the money or the resources or get the government to pay for something. I don't know, something. I'm going to figure it out, though. I want that. And I wanted to have a nice private driveway entry with maybe even a gate, but a nice private situation where only certain people that's got business up there can come up there. It sucks out here. PG County, no longer rich. Charles County is richer. They used to be country. Charles County is now the richest black county in Maryland. Or one of the richest. They might not have beat out Montgomery County yet. But I think they up top. They up top. Top 3 for sure. Yeah. And in America. So like in the top 10 in America. So they up there. Used to be a good place to go. But I don't know what happened or when it happened. Maybe it's a generational curse. Like, these young people with the entitlements, they ruin everything because they think everybody's supposed to give them stuff and they don't work for nothing and they don't, value anything of substance. So they don't cultivate anything. They don't appreciate anything. And they'll gladly take what you made or earned or built and use it for their purposes and throw it away because they're all about disposable, this and that. Disposable society. They call it the microwave society. Disposable. They are the IKEA furniture curators of generations. It was only good for a season and now we're throwing it out. That's how they treat everything. They treat their parents like that too, their families. They don't care. Somebody asked me one day, how come we don't have the family, this, that, and the other no more? Because y'all don't do it. Who else gonna do it? Everybody else in a wheelchair, in the bed, in the house, can't stand up and cook. Who's doing it? Who's cooking? Who's cleaning? Who's setting that up? Who's buying everything? You ain't did nothing. You just want to show up and say how great it was and then leave? That ain't how this go. I'm tired. Don't stop me on the kids. A tangent. I tell you, a tangent was coming. But no. Anyway, I ain't want to wrap you up. I was just going to say a few things about the municipalities and, the world gone crazy and I want a family compound and a dog sanctuary too. Not animals in particular, but I might be open to trying new things like, a baby cow or a horse or a llama or a lamb, but no cats allowed. I don't like cats. They creepy. You can't teach them to stay out the kitchen. They just do what they want. They just disrespectful in my opinion. I can't with the cats. But yeah, I want to, I've always said I ain't got no money because I would do stuff like, I always had this thing called the underdog scholarship in mind. Like, when I was in college, I was not a scholarship kid, but first of all, I wasn't a kid. I was a whole grown up. I had to pay for my own college. I had to wait a minute. So when I was paying for me to go to college and now my job, they stopped paying for us to go to college, even though they had some white economists and, what do you call them? Economists and statisticians. They would pay for all their classes. One dude went through law school on their dime and then left the IRS high and dry. But anyway, they wouldn't pay for our training on a college level, at that point. I had to pay for my own stuff. But anyway, what was I even talking about? See, this is how I do. Oh, my bad. So the underdog scholarship, right? I had this idea to put a pool of money together somehow, maybe even start a nonprofit so other people's money can go in the pool too. But have a pool of money for kids to have scholarships who weren't necessarily the superlatives. Is my hair broken? Oh, it looked broken. It ain't broken. It's right there. A scholarship for people who are underdogs, not necessarily, gonna get in on scholarship because they play football or basketball or whatever. But the kids who was like got some good C's, not necessarily your A-B top tier type desirable ones, as people would call them, but the kind who are like, interested enough where if they had a shot, they could go and they could do some things and, we would help them pay for that. Underdog scholarship. Just people coming from behind, basically. Even like that could be a special education student who didn't get the best of treatments, like my son, who is brilliant in many ways, but they will never see it or tap into it because they just not gonna say the word I was thinking. But anyway, underdog scholarship. And the other thing I wanted to start was a dog, what do you call it? I didn't want to call it a rescue. It was basically just this, like, have y'all ever seen that movie, the 101 Dalmatians, the live action version, the live people version, where the man and the woman and the lady, anyway, 101 Dalmatians. It was a real, like, motion picture with actual people, not the animated one in the 90s or the early 2000s. I think it was in the 90s. But anyway, they had this dog sanctuary, and they had all these Dalmatians running around and in the farm type situation, and neighbor's mom put on the porch sipping coffee and stuff. But I wanted something like a sanctuary like that, right? I've been watching all these people on the internet. Now everybody's a dog trainer and everybody got a dog rescue some kind of way. But again, I said it on another video. I don't know if y'all always want the dog to get adopted, because you get more attention and you get more money when they in your shelter. But I don't want a shelter. I don't want no cages. I don't want those. You know what's funny? Here I go on another track again. But I be watching videos sometime of doggy daycare. It's like a shelter. It looks like a more modern, posh version of a shelter, but they still got them same kind of cages. They got toys inside and bowls inside and a blankie inside, but it's the same thing. Sanctuary. Come here and have a peace for a dog. Yes, have peace. Run around. Play with all your friends. Have a nice, comfortable bed. Nice basket or something with you. No walls, no cages. None of that crazy stuff. I don't care if it's a barn. A wide open barn just for dogs. But that's the kind of thing I was thinking about back then. And I'm thinking about doing it again. I'm thinking real hard about some stuff. I want to start a nonprofit and have a dog sanctuary. And every now and then, if a little horse needs a little love or something, or a little cow, or something that was rejected by his mama, a deer. But, you know, the kind of dogs I like, they might chase them. So I got to pray on that. I don't know. But yeah, I want to do stuff like that, because the animals, their spirit is so pure. Don't mean no harm. Never. But people, savages. Can't even stand it. People are the most savage race of any creatures I've ever seen. I don't care. Lions mind their business till they hungry. Gorillas, baboons, bears, everybody mind their business till they get hungry. And even after they eat, they go back to minding their business. But people seek out ways to hurt everybody, anybody, anything living. People will find it. There's some people who hurt the dead, necrophiliacs and stuff. People will find a way to ruin other people's lives. And they hurt animals, they hurt plants, they hurt the earth, they hurt everything. I'm tired of people. I gotta do some real serious praying and getting into the spiritual thing, because I swear it's just harder and harder every day. But yeah, I want to find me a spot where I can go isolate and alienate myself. Yep. I know the Bible says you're not supposed to alienate yourself, but I would just select a few people with me, so I won't be alienated to that degree. Just like-minded people with spiritual training and who want, to live right. That kind of, you know what I'm saying? Just peace. Anyway, I'm tired of leaning like this, and it's rude. So I think that's about all. I just had to say a couple of things. But meanwhile, you go ahead and have you a great productive day. And yeah. I want you to focus on something that you always wanted to do, or that you recently thought you want to do, and find out how you can get it done. You know what I'm saying? Why we gotta just be status quo every day of our lives? I think a lot about people who commit suicide and get into the depression and this and that. And I've been in some places, some dark spots. I can kind of relate. And I'm thinking, like, one of the catalysts for bringing me out of everything that I've felt or been thinking at those moments is, first, an act of kindness, and second, a change. Somebody down here thinking, why in the world did you paint that studio black? Because I like it, and because I was thinking at the time that maybe I would rent my studio space out for somebody else with a podcast. They got these apps where you can rent out spaces for by the hour for this and that and other. I'm still thinking about it because I don't know. But if I put the right kind of locks and cameras on my space, somebody can come on in there through that private entrance and use the space and go on about their business. But ain't no squatting going on here because we got ways and people. Not 1 hour at a time. That's it. But yeah, even if I don't do it for that, I just need the creative boost that came from getting my office painted because I wanted to paint it for so long and because it just feels like mine now and I can think again. So yeah, sometimes all you just need is a change and one act of kindness or a consistent pattern of kindnesses that you never saw coming. But you gotta pivot. I'm looking at this chair in my room with all the blankets and sheets and comforters that I haven't folded yet. I'm gonna change my bed, and then some of that's gonna go away, and the rest I'm gonna just fold because just any little change can change your whole course. It helps. Act of kindness, change something. Change your hairdo, your lip color, your way you walk to work, the bus you catch, take a Uber this day. Change something, just one little thing. And then change something else the next day. Just keep it going. All right, Coda taking his nap. Sometimes he be giving me the evil eye from the cage. Like, he'll be having his whole head upside down in the corner. But then he'll be looking at me out one eye like, why don't you be quiet? Don't you see me trying to take my nap? He got a good schedule. He goes out every morning by 8 a.m. He be trying to get in the house sometime, but go outside. Have some lovely outside. He been exploring everywhere in the yard. Keep bringing up old stuff I ain't even know was out there. A little ball, a kid's shoe, different things on the porch. But yeah, he goes out and then he come back at 12 o'clock, eat his lunch, he go take his nap. And then I let him back out a little while later. Then around the time Kyle get home, he should be finished with all that resting. Yeah, he can go outside. And then he go play some more and then he come back in and eat again. And then around 8 o'clock he goes to bed and he snores. So I'd say it's working out all right. He's big. I bought him a harness September 20-something. That was 2 weeks ago. He can't fit it. I tried it on him. I took pictures and posted a little video, I think, on here. He can't fit the thing no more. I can't even snap it around his body, his waist. Fatso. He go to the vet next week. We're going to see how much he weighed this time. He was 23 pounds, 24 pounds. Let's see. I'm dying to know. But his little legs is so long now. I can't with this. The big puppy. He got all the energy in there. He gonna be too big. Jesus, he gonna knock all the kids down. Oh my God. Anyway, y'all have a great day.